Hi, I'm James and thanks for tuning in to Ebuyer. In this video, I'll be taking a look at the Wacom One creative pen display. Wacom have a massive name in the design world for making these pen-based tablets that provide some really great results for artists and designers. This particular unit also has a 13.3-inch full HD display, which we'll be exploring in today's video. As if that wasn't enough, we're also going to bring in one of Ebuyer's in-house designers to show us just how it's done, as unfortunately my artistic nous is not quite up to scratch. Before we do that though, let's unbox it as you've come to know and love here on the Ebuyer channel, take a look at some of the features and the overall design, and get my first impressions of the device as someone who's never really used something like this, at least not for quite a while. Here we have some information about how to get started, connect it up to a computer and plug in power, and then download drivers from wacom.com/download. You're then able to register the device on your online account. Taking the tablet out, it comes packaged nicely in this black protective cover, and then you can see the display itself. Form factor wise, it's absolutely massive. For me this feels huge, but I bet from a design perspective, really the bigger the better, as that allows you to get more screen real estate, see more of your design in sort of real size if you will, or zoom in further and get that bit more detail. The full HD display as well should also give us quite a nice pixel density, especially at this 13-inch form factor. Also in the box of course, you get your pen stylus. This is of course much more accurate and much more precise than any stylus that any of you guys are probably used to using, which is obviously important from a design perspective, with what appears to be a function button on the top as well, but I'll ask our in-house designer Jordan about that in a moment, as he's bound to know a bit more about the nitty-gritty and usability of this tablet than myself. So Jordan, can you tell me a little bit about what you do here at Ebuyer, what your job title is, and what your day-to-day kind of responsibilities would include?
Yeah, of course. I am the graphic designer at Ebuyer. I do everything from creating compositions for posters, website design, and recently we've been doing some pitch side banner animations for Leeds UFC.
Oh nice.
So we've got some Black Friday.
Because Ebuyer are a partner sponsor of Leeds United, is that right?
Yeah.
So how then would something like this integrate into your daily workflow, perhaps make you more productive? What specific things might you use something like this for here at Ebuyer?
Well, with my line of work, it would definitely help me with compositions that we create. You could use it for storyboarding, quick sketches, quick idea generations, as well as actually implementing it into the final product itself. You can use it for creating highlights on imagery, you can create shadows. Just a lot easier to be able to even mask out images.
Okay.
Put them into composite.
Just a bit more kind of tactile, I guess.
Yes.
Awesome. So I think that all makes a lot of sense, but I think there is one thing that we can definitely do to demonstrate this. I've had a bit of an idea. I'm going to give you a challenge, 10 minutes. Could you sketch out the new shiny Ebuyer logo on the Wacom tablet?
Yeah, I could definitely give it a good go.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to give this a go. My results would be awful, so we're not going to do like a competition because you'll win every day. So 10 minutes starts now, and we'll be right back with you.
All right, no problem.
The results are in. What do you think, Jordan? I think that looks pretty good.
I'm not too happy with it personally, but
Was it just a bit more hard than you thought it was going to be, or?
yeah, it's a vector-based logo. So
Yeah, of course.
initially, it would have taken me 2 minutes in Illustrator, but
However, from like, if that was the brief you were given to design the logo, this would not be particularly, for 10 minutes work, this would be quite a nice way of actually getting a bit of a draft up in that sketch format, right, which you could then vectorize properly with shapes and fonts and stuff like that.
yeah, as initial concept, it is good just to have something to be able to show, you know, colour palette, the general aesthetic, the tone,
And I guess with like fonts as well, if it's a font that maybe you've not got locally or a font that you're then designing, maybe actually being able to hand draw out the letters makes more sense maybe?
Yeah, with fonts especially, because there's such a broad range of so many different ones, all with tiny different discerning features. It helps to be able to visualize what you want it to look like, and then you can find a potential font that's similar as possible, and then you can just tweak it yourself.
Got you, rather than trying to go through and download hundreds of fonts and find one that sort of resembles what you want but sort of isn't what you want, and having to add a note that says, I like the Y but it needs to be more angular and triangle, you know, and that kind of thing. Yeah, I'm very impressed with that. I know you're not quite, but I think another 15 minutes would have refined this down really quite nicely. And I think that actually wraps up our first look, unboxing and overview of this Wacom tablet. A big thank you to Jordan for coming down, or coming upstairs as it happens here at Ebuyer HQ, and helping us out with this one, as I think unfortunately I would have been a little bit out of my depth had I been doing this one alone.
I'm sure you would have been alright.
I appreciate your optimism. With that though, that pretty much wraps it up for this video. Make sure to get subscribed if you'd like to see more from us. Thank you very much for tuning in though, and as always, we'll see you soon.